first. We're going to look at a couple different ones before we get started here, but why don't you talk us through Roshi's deck? What do you see here?
Well, the first thing I see here is that the name is a bit of a misnomer. I wouldn't call this a Stonescar Volks deck at all. There's no Valkyrie Warp going on here. This is an explosive potential combination deck. Explosive potential is really great with Arak and large, expensive flying charge units like Sanguine Reaper and Daheen Blitz. And then it's all other cards that go well with those, with that core. So like you have Molder Muck because it goes really well with Explosive Potential. You have Metabot Station because it goes really well with Sanguine Reaper. Glen Pathcutter because it goes really well with Arak. Sentinel Mold because it goes really well with Sanguine Reaper. I think really what Roshi saw here is these 4 and 5 cost Valkyries are really good if they have one support card and they have a couple of support cards in common. So he just jammed all those together and then kind of filled in the gaps with some stuff to help you stay alive, like Vine Grafter and Defile and such.
And what we should note about this, I should have mentioned this in the overview. So the way that this works today is we're going to have Throne and Expedition deck lists. So we have the first 3 rounds are going to be Swiss. Those are going to be Expedition. And then we're going to move over to the top 8, which is going to be Throne. So we're just going to do this. We're going to focus on the Swiss deck list now because we'll talk through the Throne deck list in the top 8 when we get there. But we'll start off here with the Expedition deck list. So that's what we're seeing here. So that's Roshi. He's going to be the number 3 seed today, is going to be going up against Portage from Team CSB, the number 14 seed. And Portage brought kind of a classic one here, maybe a couple changes from the new set, but Huru Soldiers.
Yeah, so there's really 2 ways to approach Soldiers. You either play straight Huru and be more low to the ground and aggressive and fit in more units, or you are TJP, which makes you a little bit slower because some of your power is depleted. You have to play Seek Power. So this is a more fast version. It's not playing any Argo Ironthorn, for example, the big curve topper for Soldiers. Instead, it's playing Hera and Lord Stairs Tower and Rage Grafter. It's an interesting addition to try and just really get them dead. Now, interesting thing here is that in the market, there's no like really great Rage Grafter targets. Like Evolving Olziel is the only unit you're ever going to get from the market with Grafter. And like, I mean, it's cool to give Evolving Olziel Berserk, but this deck is very low on power. You're not going to get up to 5 that often. So really, Portage is going to have a unit in hand that they already want to give Berserk to for that Rage Grafter ability. Which kind of surprises me. And then on the top of this, also, in addition to Stairs Tower, is Valise Bear Rider. I just love this card. Yeah. Like, the art is so great, the name is so great, and the effect is so great. Like, +1/+1 and Overwhelm pushes a lot of damage, and then you get a nice loot on top of that. I really love Valise.
Yeah, that card's pretty sweet. One note, so we talked about the Evolving Olziel, is that how you pronounce it?
That's how I pronounce it.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Small change to this card, right? So because of the change to, I believe, I haven't verified this, but because of the change to Sling, summon you may transform a relic into a 4/1 soldier. That does hit Sling now, right? It did not before, I believe.
Yeah, that is now an answer to Sling. Not that Sling is a worry in Expedition anymore.
Right. But just noting the ability there for sure. All right, well, our players are ready, so we're going to have tons of deck list time. Don't worry, we're going to go through everyone's deck list as we go through everything. We'll have plenty of time, but our players are ready, so let's head down to the action. We've got round 1 of the Invitational.